the song, and then we'll go right into it. And so let me sing this. I love to tell the story, more wonderful it seems than all the golden fancies of all our golden dreams. I love to tell the story, it did so much for me, and that is just the reason I tell it now to thee. I love to tell the story, 'twill be my theme in glory, to tell the old story of Jesus and his love. This song, entitled I Love to Tell the Story, was written by Catherine Hankey. Her first name, I believe, is Arabella, but she was known by those who loved her most as Kate. And Catherine, she was born in 1834. She was the daughter of a wealthy English banker, and though she was well off to do and her family members were prominent in their church, she focused on often giving of herself to others and to the Lord. She was known for taking on the evangelical care of her father, and that was a characteristic of her. She actually went to Africa to help minister there with her invalid brother, and would also do other things in England, such as organizing Sunday school classes and hosting different teachings, and often wrote several different poems and things about the Lord. It was when she was 30 that she experienced a very serious illness. I don't know what it was, but she went through a long period of recovery, and during that time she wrote a very lengthy poem about the life of Christ. I looked up this poem. I contemplated reading it for you, but it has over 50 stanzas, and so I figured maybe if you wish to, you can go and look it up later and read it. But it was of two main sections. The first part was entitled The Story Wanted, and the second part was entitled The Story Told. The Story Wanted has parts in it that were taken and used in another hymn that she wrote entitled Tell Me the Old Story. And then the second part of the poem, entitled The Story Told, is where the words for this song that I just sang came from. I love to tell the story. Being musically inclined and thinking about the life of Christ during her recovery, she actually wrote music to this song as well. But it didn't catch on. It wasn't very popular with that music that she had written. She composed her own tunes. It had little notice, but the following year in 1867, at a large international YMCA convention in Montreal, Canada, one of the speakers closed by quoting some of the verses of this poem that she wrote. In the audience that day was noted American gospel musician William H. Doane, who had composed more than 2,000 gospel songs. He was greatly moved by these lines and prompted to compose more musical settings for both texts. However, later, his music was replaced by another composer of hymns known as William G. Fisher, and this is the tune that you hear now. He was from Philadelphia, and he wrote several hymns for music for several different hymns. This hymn in 1875, in this format, appeared in gospel hymns and sacred songs from Bliss and Sankey's collection, and that's what brought this hymn to its more widespread popularity and fame, with this hymn being a part of Sankey's collection. Of course, Sankey was the song leader for D.L. Moody, and of course that's where this hymn came from. So it came from this woman who had come from wealth had come from prosperity, but gave unto the Lord. And in her time of troubles, she contemplated on the life of Christ, wrote a very extensive poem. I actually enjoyed reading the bits that I did read. I would encourage you to look it up. The Story Told, The Story Wanted, and The Story Told, a large hymn. But you'll find several words from these hymns taken from that poem that she wrote so many years ago. You think about that. That was 150 years plus years ago that she wrote that hymn, and we're still singing that song today. Should we still love to tell the story of Jesus and his love?